Have you ever felt like you're running in place, working hard but getting nowhere? Trapped by your circumstances, watching others race ahead? This is the story of a man who broke that cycle, not with a lottery ticket or a lucky break, but with something far more powerful: discipline. This is the story of Sam, the man who mastered time. Sam wasn't born with a silver spoon. He was just an ordinary guy from a small town with ordinary dreams and an extraordinarily empty bank account. He tried everything, jumping from one get-rich-quick scheme to another, hoping for a shortcut that never came. Friends and family would pat him on the back, saying, "Maybe it's just not meant to be." Sam. The world saw him as a dreamer destined to fail, but deep down, a quiet fire was burning. He knew he was meant for more. One rainy Tuesday afternoon, staring at another rejection email, something snapped. Sam realized he wasn't failing because he lacked talent or opportunity. He was failing because he lacked control. He was a passenger in his own life, letting distractions, bad habits, and other people's opinions steer his course. That day he made a decision. He would stop hoping for a miracle and start building one. He would become the master of his own time. His journey began not with a grand gesture, but with a simple piece of paper and a pen. He drew 4 boxes: time management, learning, financial control, and self-care. This wasn't just a to-do list. It was a blueprint for a new life. He called it the system under time management. He scheduled every single hour of his day, from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. No more mindless scrolling or "I'll do it later." Every minute had a purpose. 5 a.m. was for exercise. 6 a.m. was for reading. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. was his day job, which he now attacked with newfound focus. And 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.? That was his freedom time, 3 hours dedicated to building his future. The first few weeks were brutal. His body screamed for more sleep. His mind craved the easy comfort of TV. Doubts crept in, whispering that he was crazy, that this was just another phase. There were nights he'd fall asleep at his desk, exhausted, with almost nothing to show for it. He felt completely isolated. While his friends were out having fun, Sam was at home, studying marketing, coding, and business strategy. "You're missing out on life, man," they'd tell him. But Sam saw it differently. He wasn't missing out. He was investing. Under the learning box, he committed to reading 1 business book a week and taking 1 online course a month. He turned his car into a mobile university, listening to podcasts and audiobooks during his commute. He knew knowledge wasn't just power. It was the raw material for building his empire. He wasn't just learning. He was transforming his mind brick by brick. Then came financial control. This was the toughest part. Sam was broke. He created a ruthless budget. Every single penny was tracked. He cut out all non-essential spending. No more takeout, no more new gadgets, no more nights at the bar. He saved every dollar he could, not to hoard it, but to reinvest it. He started with just $50 a month, putting it into a separate account labeled Business Fuel. It looked pathetic at first, but it represented a monumental shift in his mindset from consumer to investor. Finally, there was self-care. Sam knew that burnout was the enemy of consistency. So he scheduled time for healthy meals, 7 hours of sleep, and a 30-minute walk every day to clear his head. He understood that to build something great on the outside, you must first be strong on the inside. This wasn't a luxury. It was a necessity for the long marathon ahead. Months turned into a year. On the surface, not much had changed. He was still working the same job, living in the same small apartment, but inside, a revolution was underway. His business fuel account had grown, his knowledge had compounded, and his discipline was now unbreakable. He used his freedom time and seed money to launch a small e-commerce store, selling niche products he'd researched meticulously. The first sale was a moment of pure magic. It was only $29.99, but to Sam, it was validation. It was proof that the system worked. It was the first drop of rain after a long, grueling drought. Energized, he doubled down. He reinvested every penny of profit back into the business, scaling his ads, improving his website, and expanding his product line. He was still working his day job, still living by his strict schedule. The system was his North Star. There were setbacks, of course. A key supplier went bust. A major ad campaign flopped, wasting hundreds of dollars. An algorithm change nearly wiped him out. Each failure was a punch to the gut. The old Sam would have quit. But the new Sam, the one forged in the fire of discipline, saw them as lessons. He analyzed the data, adjusted his strategy, and kept moving forward. As the saying goes, the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Sam was becoming a master. 2 years into his journey, he hit a milestone. His online business was making more money than his day job. The day he walked into his boss's office to hand in his resignation was not one of arrogance, but of quiet triumph. He shook his boss's hand, thanked him for the opportunity, and walked out a free man. He was finally the CEO of his own life. But he didn't stop. He didn't abandon the system now that he was successful. He refined it. His schedule became more flexible, but the principles remained. He still dedicated time to learning, managing his now growing wealth, and prioritizing his health. Success wasn't a destination. It was a continuous process of growth. 5 years after that rainy Tuesday, Sam stood on the balcony of a beautiful home overlooking the city. He wasn't the same broke, aimless man from that small town. He was a self-made millionaire. But the money was just a byproduct. The real wealth was the person he had become, resilient, focused, and in complete control of his destiny. He hadn't won the lottery. He had built his fortune one disciplined day at a time. Sam's story teaches us a profound truth. The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. But the same is true for the wings of discipline. Each small act of self-control, each hour invested, each temptation overcome, is a feather. Alone they seem insignificant, but together they can give you the power to fly. Your life is the sum of your days. So ask yourself, what are you building today? Are you letting time slip through your fingers, or are you mastering it? You don't need to be brilliant or lucky to change your life. You just need to start. Start with 1 hour. Start with $1. Start with 1 page. Create your own system. Stick to it when it's hard. Stick to it when no one is watching. Stick to it when you feel like giving up. Because somewhere down the road, you'll look back, not at the sacrifices you made, but at the incredible life you built. And you'll realize that the greatest success story you'll ever read is the one you write yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you build your best life. We'll see you in the next video.